All right, folks. I got a situation. So as you can see, there's a lovely little hole in my ceiling. So what had happened is I was walking to go upstairs to do something, and I noticed a little crack in the drywall, just a little crack, and I was like, huh. And then I noticed a little circle. And so then, of course, I poked the little circle, and when I poked the little circle, my finger went all the way through, and I was like, that's not supposed to do that. So I cut a little square to see what was what. And then when I finished cutting the square, that ductwork was right up there. Now this is an AC duct. This AC duct sends cold air to that register, and possibly that register too. But it definitely sends cold air to that register. And the duct was a little moist, little condensation-y, which is normal when you have cold air going through a pipe and there might be warm, humid air around it. Now this, if you're not knowing, I'm on the ground floor. This is the ceiling. The second floor is above it. The water was not coming from above it, so that's good. It's good that there wasn't a leak from above. It was just condensation from the pipe. But over, I don't know, 20, 30 years, this house was built in 99, so 20 plus years, this pipe has probably just been slowly dripping. Maybe in the last few years, maybe at some point in millennia, a small hole to the outside is letting humidity in through this section of the subfloor. I don't know. I just know that I found mold. Well, okay, so let me. I did not find a mold explosion. What I did find is where the water is dripping down and hit the backing paper on the drywall, there's black residue, so there's a little bit of mold. Let me show you. There's a little bit of evidence of mold on the wood. It's not a lot, it's just a little bit. I did spray that down with some Lysol once I found it. And now that it's open and I have a dehumidifier running and I got a fan running, it should be fine. The problem is the wet-ish spots keep going that way. And I don't know how far that way they go. And they still keep going that way. And I hope that it's just to the register and stopping. But it's possible that it goes to that register or somewhere. And then, I don't know how far the problem extends. I just know that it dripped enough. And here's the tricky part. I was poking the ceiling where these were, where this section was, and this was all hard. Like the drywall, it was not wet or anything. Like my finger didn't punch through. I had to use the hole saw to get through. So this has probably just been dripping seasonally for who knows how long. And then just at whatever, because this is a low spot, it just decided to drip enough over the last 20 years to make its way through. And now luckily, it's not a spore-infested problem. Like I don't have like mold all through the subfloor. It's only where the little drip was that I have a little bit of mold. So I was wearing a respirator. Luckily, I still have a respirator. I have a respirator for my 3D printing days, so I wore one while I was doing all this. And I also had I had gloves on, but the floor got covered in drywall dust, and so I had to heavily disinfect and mop the floor. I mopped and then I disinfected, and I'm probably going to do some more disinfecting with some Lysol spray later. I just let it dry out so the dog can walk under it. And I got, like I said, I got the dehumidifiers, I got the fans. The HVAC company that we use for our seasonal cleanings and everything, they're closed until Monday. I left them a voicemail. They're probably going to recommend wrapping, either replacing the duct with an insulated version or wrapping the duct. Or trying to figure out why the subfloor has enough humidity in it. Now, obviously the house itself gets pretty humid during the summer, and so humidity's coming in the house one way or another. I'm not I'm not like angry. I didn't have a great day to begin with, and I haven't done any of my homework today. And then I just noticed this, and this became like the last, I don't know, 2-3 hours, and I got some of the hose water on the top of my head, so I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna strip all my clothes off and put them in the wash, and I got dust everywhere, and I've cleaned it up for the most part, so that's fine. But I do have to like make sure. We normally keep our dog bowl over here, but we're gonna have to move the dog bowl until this is figured out. But it's gonna be a multi-week project. Luckily, I had the dehumidifier already. I've got the fan here. This problem, I'm glad I caught it now and not in 10 years when it's worse. But I had no idea how long, and I don't know how invasive this is. Because the drywall I walk around with a little broom and tap the ceiling, and like there's no other like whole wet spots. So if there's condensation, it's not forming enough. Like maybe it's because the pipes aren't drooping as bad. Maybe the air ducts aren't drooping, or like it's probably okay everywhere else. Because like you expect a little bit of condensation because it's, you know, we're in the south, but like not enough to bust through the ceiling. So anyways, yay. Yay!